Oh, hi there. Fancy meeting you here.
Well, hello.
Did you know that you were here for a podcast?
Yay.
Surprise! Welcome to Game Overcast, episode 25, now in stunning HD.
4K stuff.
No,
maybe not.
We don't have the budget. It's the best we can do. What you see is what you got.
Hey, my camera actually does record in 4K, so...
That's a lot of memory space,
If we wanted to, we totally could.
We're not doing it in 4K.
It's not worth...
I'm sparing you the horror.
No, you don't want to see this mug in 4K.
Okay.
You don't. It's fine.
HD Matt coming at you. I hope you've got your bucket. Okay.
Zoom in. No, I'm kidding.
So, if you couldn't tell from the really, really bad humor, we're talking remasters this episode.
Yay!
Along with other things, but specifically, ultimate HD extreme upgrades. Buy this game for the 12th time. Yeah, it's one of those shows. But start off, I am Matt, as always. This is Britt, as
hello.
most of the time.
Yes.
Say hello, Britt.
Hello, Britt.
Yay! So a little bit of new things. What are you playing now, Brittany?
Let's do some. Sorry.
Where is this book? I've often wondered, the book. Like, oldest trick in the book, oldest joke in the book. I want this book.
It's this...
How old is is it the oldest book in the book?
Yeah.
Like,
this book is like... since the dawn of time.
It's like an ancient, decrepit bookstore, so a Walden Books somewhere.
Started, and then thus was the book.
The book. So it's like this big stone
it's
thing with like a buffalo carved into it. Just
this book is in your heart, okay?
A heart book?
This book is okay, just never mind.
Oh, keep on going, man.
I'm just going to keep digging myself into a
story,
hole.
like
That's
in
fine.
a tray you found the book.
You just have to believe in it. It's all of your hopes and your dreams. Yeah.
Sure. So video games, right?
Yes.
There was a Never-Ending Story video game, was there?
Was there?
I don't think so.
Because if there was a Never-Ending Story video game, please tell me, whoever you are that's watching this.
What if it's really bad, though?
And I don't care.
Like, what if it's the worst game ever?
Type it in the comments because I want to play it.
What if it's like Never-Ending Story 3 bad? Because 2 wasn't all that good. 3 was like, oh.
You have to have, like, your hopes and your dreams. You have to believe in the game.
You can believe in 3 all you want. It was still a festering piece of garbage. If you like the Never-Ending Story 3, 1, I'm sorry.
That's
2, you're entitled to your opinion, but I'm sorry. But 2 had some pretty artwork. Most of 3 was shot in the real world because it was so low budget they couldn't afford Fantasia. Okay,
sad.
It's real bad.
Sad face.
That and Bastion had crazy mad scientists.
You know what though? There are some really good low budget movies. Like just because you don't have a budget doesn't make it a bad movie.
You're right, but
let's just put that out there.
Was a bad movie with a bad budget. Anyways, so video games.
Fair enough.
Believe it or not, this actually is a video games podcast. We'll start off with some now playing. Brittany,
oh God, what have I been playing?
Dun, dun, dun. I know one thing you've been playing because I've been playing it with you.
Yeah, Windjammers.
Yes.
It's actually really fun. I didn't think I would like it. I just thought, frisbee game, okay.
So here at the store, we get limited
fun.
run games now, and one of the ones we got was Windjammers, an old Neo Geo game. If you've ever played Windjammers before, you should. It's
really good.
Like, if you ever played Super Tennis or any tennis game, it's like tennis but with frisbees, and sometimes the frisbees are on fire.
It's pretty random. It's like a crazy kind of not realistic frisbee game, but super fun. It's one of those things
aren't
that
always on fire.
Oh, really?
Soak that sucking gasoline. Catch, Jim.
Anyway.
But yeah, so it's a lot of fun. So I know you've been playing it because I've been playing it with you.
It's fun. I didn't think I would like it, but I actually like it. It's really fun. And it's really crazy. It's a nice game to have if you just for a fun party game. If you just want to throw something on that you're going to have a good time with.
Coming soon, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, yes. That would be so good.
It has surprising depth to it also, where at first we were just throw the frisbee, but then you realize there was super moves, and then you can throw at different speeds, and then you can curve the frisbee and ricochet it off the walls. I still don't know how we curve the frisbee. I've done it once. You do it all the time on accident.
I don't know how I keep doing these tricks. I only press one button, I swear to God. And I only press X, and I don't know how frisbees catch fire. I'm doing these curveballs. I'm it's 90 miles per hour. No idea how I'm doing it because I'm just hitting X. Maybe I'm just magical. You're right. I wish.
I'm not disputing anything. So is that about it? You've been playing anything else? Bad?
No, I think that's really all I've had time to play. I haven't had a lot of time to do anything, so.
No, I have been playing Switch stuff lately, which enables me to play it in places where I don't have time to play things, which is good. I am still playing Xenoblade Chronicles 2, which means yes, for all my griping, I'm still playing Xenoblade Chronicles 2.
Uh-huh.
It's a good game. It just has some issues.
This guy.
It does. It's a fantastic game.
Yeah.
You're gonna get me in trouble. This is Matt with at least 75% less passion than the last show.
Oh my god.
Hang on a second. Let me talk.
Stop.
So I was playing Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Oh.
You know, it's just super fun to tease you, right? It's just super fun to jab at you.
I'm aware. But I think I'm something like 85 hours into the game. And up until like 75 hours, I wasn't getting much further in the story. Like I was at chapter 4.
What have you been doing?
Everything but the story. I've been doing like all the side quests. I've been collecting all of like
Are
the
there that
blades.
many side quests?
When you're dumb and you take a long time to play through them, like me, yes. And then I've been collecting all the blades and just doing and like grinding for money because you can, and just wandering around killing monsters and grinding levels because it's a JRPG, and when it's good like that, you do it. I'm like level 60 in a level 40 zone.
Oh my god.
In the story, okay? Like the story, I'm at like chapter 6. I think I'm getting near the end. I want to say that because most of the map is unlocked now, like the world map, and that usually means you're getting either close to the end or close to the part where like everything goes. You know what I mean? Because there's like, I've beaten the game like in Final Fantasy VI where no, you haven't. And there's like most other JRPGs where like, well, you hit the whole map, there might be some of the like big worldwide quests, but you're getting near the climax anyways, like the big, like the end game section. So I think I'm getting there. But I'm in an area right now where the enemies are like 40, 45, and I'm in the 60s. So I may be over leveled. Just a little bit for where I am. Just because I've been going around collecting everything else and doing other things to the point where I'll do it until I have to stop because there's like story requirements to do certain things. I'm like, man, no, I want more robots. There's certain what?
That's great though. That's a game that's definitely worth its money.
You're right. I really,
worth
really
paying
wish
for it
the
'cause it's so
localization
much-
was better. Because there have been points now where you can do like little like mini scenes called heart to hearts where it just gives you more like flavor text and things about the characters' interactions, and they'll contradict things they say in other cutscenes. So whoever was translating it wasn't paying much attention. Like one of the characters is this Grand Inquisitor, this awesome lady with these two like whip swords, like you know how oh my god, Ivy, right, from Soul Calibur?
Yeah,
she
from
has
Soul
two of those, and they're on fire.
Oh wow.
So cool. And she's the Grand Inquisitor, but she's very clearly anime stereotype where she's this masculine character and she kind of has a pretty deep voice. And the gag in the Japanese version is kind of obvious where they don't allude to the fact that she's a girl. And one of the cutscenes is the characters are all going to go take a bath, like in this like a hot spring. And one of the cute little fuzzy things like, let's go take a bath together. We're all guys here and everything like that. And the girl's like, and he's like, you don't like me? Why won't you take a bath with me? Like they're you like little fuzzy potato people. It's one of him, and he's really
they're so
heartbroken that this what he thinks is just another one of the guys won't take a bath with him. So he's like crying that she won't take a bath with him, and she's like,
no.
fine.
Aw.
But all throughout the game, they refer to as lady this and lady that. I'm like, okay, so yeah, it's just like someone missed a little bit where the joke was clearly there in the original version, and it didn't make as much sense because they were specifically calling her female for the entire game when she wasn't in the Japanese version. But whatever, it's little things like the game's still fantastic. I'm clearly liking it. So hush, don't say a word. But it's awesome, and there's more robots now, which I won't spoil much more. But there are more robots. It's great. Good times. Also, just recently, for the past weekend, I was playing the closed beta for Sea of Thieves, which is the pirate game from Rare. So the guys who made Banjo-Kazooie, and then Microsoft bought them, and they made nothing else good.
Wow.
I mean, I'm sorry, but Grab by the Ghoulies wasn't that
That's
good.
some
Perfect Dark Zero was
shade.
not good. Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts wasn't awful, but it sure as heck wasn't Banjo-Kazooie. What else? Connect Sports? It's a Connect game. That wasn't Dance Central. Or
Oh
Just
my
Dance,
gosh.
whatever.
I'm so sorry.
So it wasn't that good. But this is the first game that gives me that like Rare like magic feeling again, where you're a pirate, and every kid at some point was a pirate. You played like a pirate, which is great because we were talking about how it's funny how it's fun to be a pirate And pirates were like these horrible people that would like, I am the captain now, and like murder people and everything. You know what I mean?
I'm the captain now.
It's not good, but this game captures like the fun.
It's like Disney pirates.
Like the Johnny Depp kind of like fun pirate thing. And I was telling someone, I got the feeling when I was going to play the game it was going to be more like cool, like but it's definitely more like drunk Jack Sparrow. Like shooting yourself out of cannons and playing music, because you can get like a hurdy-gurdy and like the concertina thing, and you're playing on the ship.
It's so fun.
Then you can drink the grog, and when you drink the grog, you get drunk, and your guy starts playing out of tune, and you're just like, stumbling around the boat playing this, and you fall off into the ocean, and a shark eats you. And
Okay, but one question: Is there a Kraken?
not yet.
What?
It's just the beta.
Okay.
They've already pretty much data mined it and confirmed there is a Kraken.
Yes.
which is
Sold.
awesome. And mermaids.
Okay. Double sold.
Yeah, and
Krakens and mermaids, I'm good.
buried treasure, and I had an amazing experience that I think sums up the whole game pretty much. Is there was 2 ships. It was myself with 3 other people on a big like pirate ship, and then 4 other people on a big pirate ship. And there's open chat, so you can talk to your team, but you can also talk to other people that are in the area with you. So of course, all of us are full on bad pirate speech. So, you talk like a pirate, you're like, we're going to board you and steal your booty, and we're going to make you walk the plank, laddie. And we're like hollering, I'm like, we're going to shoot you full of holes and send you to Davy Jones' locker. And from, they're responding in pirate speech. And then just from across the ocean, we hear, no, you're not. We just start cracking up and like, hey, we're going to plunder your stuff and all this stuff. And he goes, nah, please don't. It's just like, yes.
That's amazing.
Then we killed the ship, and he was like, man, why'd you do that? Aye, laddie, because you don't speak like a pirate. Sorry. It was phenomenal. It's over now, but the game comes out in March, and it's super fun. So good that Xbox gets some kind of game. So congratulations to Xbox One. You have one game. 2 games, sorry. But anyways, that's what I've been playing. So we will move right along, because I can talk about being a pirate. And I'll just occasionally break into bad pirate speech for the rest of the game.
So this is the pirate episode, actually. No, I'm
Welcome to Game Over Pirate Cast. So before we go to break, we will go to our question of the month.
Yay.
I'm trying not to break into pirate speech.
That's
All right,
okay.
matey, the question of the month. Because it's the February show, so obviously February is Valentine's Day for people who care. I mean, there's candy,
Candy is always good.
Candy's good,
Candy is fantastic.
I'm not, the whole like.
But Halloween is the better holiday.
I'll give you Halloween is definitely better than Valentine's Day in my opinion.
No, but.
But whatever. So Valentine's Day question. What is your favorite video game couple?
Oh God.
Da da dun dun da 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 dun dun da. Peach and Bowser.
Oh. No.
Okay.
You go first, because I don't know.
Okay, mine's easy. Squall and Renoa from Final Fantasy VIII, because I'm a loser, and it's my favorite Final
I'm like,
Fantasy, and it's a cute. I'll take it.
No.
It's a super sappy romance. It's like teen drama with like robots and gun blades and time travel and death, and I mean.
Which you love. That always cracks me up. It's not a bad thing. I think it's super amazing that you can actually admit that you love a good romance.
A good
like
love story
you like
fine.
romance movies and like love stories.
If it's not
funny.
If it's not dominated by it. Like I don't want to watch just a love story, but a love story is incorporated into a good narrative. Heck yes, it makes it better. Am I going to watch The Notebook? Hell no. But I will watch.
I feel like you would get into it though. I mean, you like that, and that's a wonderful thing. It's just so funny, because not a lot of guys I think can admit.
I'll do the
that.
Princess Bride all day though.
Oh my God, that's so good.
But anyways,
so good.
So that's mine, easily I'd say. What you got? Come on, Lee. Come on. Sorry.
I'm gonna have to go with. Gosh, this is hard. But I think I'm going to go ahead and go with my favorite Final Fantasy, which is Final Fantasy X. And I'm going to go with Yuna and Titus.
I thought you were just going to have like a random thing like
potato.
Like Waka and Lulu.
Right.
But they have a baby in 10 too. I mean.
Oh man.
And unlike Titus and Yuna, they're canonically still together also. Oh.
I don't want to talk about that. I have no idea what you're talking about. It doesn't exist.
So if you like Final Fantasy X and you just want to have your dreams shattered, read the 2.5 novel or like find a synopsis of it. Tidus gets his head blown off by a mine he thought was a blitzball.
Oh my god, that's horrendous.
Yeah, it's really
that
hokey.
doesn't exist. It's not real.
Sure, it doesn't. Mhm. Okay.
They live on in my
you
heart.
just keep thinking, like, why they don't make a 10-3? That's why they don't make a 10-3.
No.
Okay, so that was going to be an easy one. So we'd have one more. So this is the remaster show, so we have a question here. Games you would like to see remade or remastered. My quick answer would be none, make a new game. But we will get into that.
Yes,
calm
we
down.
will.
We'll get into that. But if I had to pick, I'd pick two. Final Fantasy VIII, because it's already been snubbed. You had Final Fantasy VII getting the full treatment, and then you have 9 getting re-released in HD. Where's my 8? Just give me some cleaner
8
models.
is a good one. I'm shocked. I definitely thought they would remaster 8 before they remastered 9.
Yes.
I mean, 9 is great. 9 has a fantastic soundtrack.
Almost
one
definitely.
of the best ones,
Yes.
I think. But I'm just shocked.
5 discs of awesomeness from Mr. Nubo.
Yeah.
But really though, like really, at least 8's end boss makes sense. I'm sorry, but that's the only thing I didn't like about 9 was the end boss that comes out of literally nowhere. Like, surprise, I was the bad guy all along. And it's not like a bad guy who was the good guy or a character. It was this random thing that just floats up out of the abyss, like, no, I will kill you. And that's exactly what he sounds like. This big, like, gigantic monster. He's like, hello, I'm the destroyer of worlds. I don't know.
That's okay.
So I like that. But then I think what I would also love, because I will get this as opposed to a sequel I will never get because Nintendo hates me personally. I'd love to see them give me the full remaster. I say full remaster. The Switch couldn't handle a full HD remaster, but the best a Switch could handle of F-Zero GX. Also, please include. I know you could unlock a lot of the arcades, the AX stuff in the game, but just have it there from the get-go, and just give it to me on the Switch. If that's all you will ever give me of F-Zero, other than a stupid Mario Kart track, I will take that.
They don't have F-Zero available on the eShop?
No.
Really?
So. If it is, it's on like the Wii, but I want it on the go. If there was a virtual console on the Switch, that would be great too. You know, with GameCube games, so Mario Sunshine. But I haven't come here to gripe about the Switch yet.
I thought you could download stuff from the eShop.
On the Switch eShop, you can download like Neo Geo ports and then like indie games, but there is no virtual console.
Oh, okay.
We've been waiting quite patiently for that, Nintendo.
Okay.
Let me give you my money.
Yeah, that would be the perfect game, I think, to have portable. You know, I with their stuff that they're talking about, which we'll get into, I think that they're choosing some really good ones that would be great to have in a portable version.
So what do you want to see remastered? But if you had to pick one thing, since I picked 2, but whatever.
Yeah. So I'm also going to go with 2 because one of my dreams are coming true. And if you listen to the October episode, you know I'm a huge fan. October, right?
Yeah, what are you talking about?
Was it October? Halloween? Yeah.
I mean, what game?
Right? Like, as if Halloween is in October, right?
I don't remember that far back, bro.
I meant that's when the episode came out. When we did the family
what was the game?
games, it's Medieval.
Oh, that's right.
I love Medieval with a passion. I played that so much as a child. And yeah, I just love it. So I'm super stoked that they actually announced a remaster for that.
That's right.
So I'm really, really happy. I have my Crash remaster. I also played that as a child. So I'm really happy to have Medieval as a remaster. So that was like the one thing I was wondering. I think I had a conversation with somebody about it. I'm like, why haven't they chosen that game to remaster? And then a few days later.
That guy worked for Sony. And he was like, good idea.
She was like, you know what? Yeah.
Let me phone a friend.
And then I think it was you told me a few days later that they were, and I was like, finally, my dreams.
Glorious.
Coming true. And then this is an oldie but a goodie.
Do not say Mile on Secret Castle.
No.
Okay.
You know what? I would take that too. I would take it all day, every day. 4K bubbles, little booties. I'm fine with that. Just fighting the little wings on them. Fighting the wizard and dragons. Totes down for a Mile on Secret Castle. But no, I was not going to say that. I thought I heard somebody.
People at the window of the store clawing at it like zombies.
Let me
in. Games. Go
on. Bust a Groove. Did you ever play Bust a Groove? Okay.
Unfortunately.
Don't judge.
I've played it with you,
Best
but
game.
I've only played it with you on an HD television. so it's impossible for me to play.
Oh my god, the
Like,
game
you
is
have the song
fantastic.
memorized, so you're fine,
Yes,
but-
I know all the songs by memory. I don't care. They're cheesy and horrible, and I love them. I played that game so much as a child, and I think it's an underappreciated gem. I
would agree.
really do. I
No,
think it's
even
a
if you
gem
don't
of
like
a game.
It's a rhythm game masterpiece. If you like rhythm games, it's one of the best.
Great characters, and it's so fun. I played that game so much, and I would love to see a remaster of that game.
That'd be nice. I agree.
Find it. Bust a Groove. It's really great. Please
And if you're
remaster
listening,
it.
Nintendo,
Re-
F-Zero.
or-
F-Zero. Por favor. That would be awesome. Well, glorious. Well, we are going to take a break. 1, so we can take a break, and 2, so I can fix the tablecloth I've been holding for the past 15 minutes.
Oh, yeah. Go
We'll
get
be-
some food.
We'll go get some food. Hinch and a
another
go-go. We'll be right back. What?
Another great one. Sorry.
We'll be right back. Tune in for physical abuse. Hey everyone, Matt here, and has this ever happened to you? You're in your local Game Over looking for a specific game and they don't have it. Not to worry, friends, GameOverVideogames.com has got your back. Just go to our website and chances are we'll have what you need.
But, Matt, I don't want to pay any shipping fees.
How did you get into my house? Not to worry, random lady. Just select the pick up and store option and we'll send it to the Game Over store of your choice within 30 days at no extra cost to you. So hop on today and check it out. GameOverVideogames.com. Making retro gaming easier with the power of the internet.
Greetings, program.
Sorry, I have Mile on Secret Castle music stuck in my head now.
I was like, what are you doing?
It is really, really catchy. And it's
Such a
just
good
stuck in your
soundtrack.
head.
Yes,
I
I
have to
love
go listen
it.
to the Devilman soundtrack to get that song out of my
You
head.
have to.
By the way,
even if you haven't played Mile and Secret
just
Castle,
listen to the music.
find the soundtrack because it's fantastic, and then you will want to play it, and then you will love it.
If you are an adult or allowed to watch violent things, and you have Netflix, highly recommend Devilman Crybaby. That being said,
It's a good
this
show.
is not a show for children. Would you
Yes.
agree, Brittany? You've watched it all now, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Definitely not a show for children, but fantastic anime.
But you know, I was gonna say if you're a child, please don't watch it. But then, that's
if you're allowed to watch
that
this
is gonna
stuff,
make you watch it.
But please check with your parents first.
Absolutely. But it's a really great show, and it has a really great message. And I think given
Rip people's limbs off.
no, that's not the message.
And
But-
beat them over the head. with
No, it has a really great message, and I think it's important, especially with some of the
Just
things.
grab it by the elbow and swing.
Yeah,
I'm being a jerk, but yeah, it is it's based on the old 1973 Devilman manga. And it had a good message then. It has a really good message now.
I think
also.
the message, of course, is timeless. Because it's all
When you
about
go with the arm, use the leg. It's like a drumstick of
This.
just punishment.
But it's good.
Yeah, fantabulous. Okay, so
Good
moving
message.
along, we will talk about remasters or remakes or
Yay!
HD Ramalama Ding Dongs.
And I just reminded myself, and I was like, "Go get some food."
Beautiful Joe.
I don't know if that was in there. Yeah, I love Beautiful
we'll get
Joe.
There. We'll get there.
Yeah.
I think it was the DS version that had that.
No, it's
Maybe-
PS2.
Is it PS2 version?
PS2.
I don't know. Real quick,
I feel like
have it
playing
here
that.
on the outline. Opinion warning. As always on this show, everything, specifically me.
I'm always right. So that's what I'm kidding.
She said it this time.
Just kidding.
She said it this time.
I didn't mean it.
These are all just opinions, of course. At no point are we saying any of the games on this list are bad. When we say some of
Yes.
them are bad, we're saying specifically the remaster was bad, or the remaster may not have been needed.
I think we're just talking about personal preference
There you
because there are a few things on this list that you don't like that I'm like, you're crazy.
Exactly.
I really
there are
like
a couple
that,
specific
so.
ones we'll get to where the game itself was a masterpiece, but it may have not needed to have as many versions as it has. But we'll get there. We will get there. So we broke this down into 3 things. This is obviously not a comprehensive list of remakes. These are just ones that came to our minds. We were like, hey, okay, so good remasters. This one, this one, this one, this one. Cool. Bad remasters. This one. And then ones that I threw in the good, the bad, and the unnecessary. So remasters that
No.
aren't necessarily bad, but did we really need that again when we could have had something else? So just try to keep that in mind. We will start off with the good. Happy thoughts.
Yay.
Okay. Number 1 on the good list is, I think, just the quintessential remaster that everything else should be judged by, and that's Resident Evil 1 for the GameCube. Oh my god.
Okay.
Like, this game, Resident Evil already was just, survival horror, genre-defying zombies, blah, 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 Jill sandwich, great. The GameCube remaster, not only one of the best looking games on the GameCube, it's still a phenomenal looking game. And if I'm not mistaken, the digital re-release for it on the PS4 uses the GameCube version of it. It's that good.
Really?
Yes. It is.
Was there a
awesome.
physical release for that?
Oh,
No,
yes.
right?
For Resident Evil, not PS4, but the GameCube one.
I
It's
mean,
up there on the wall, right?
Yeah, but I mean, for you were saying PS4.
For PS4, no.
Okay,
No.
because I don't recall
they
seeing
released
that.
something else that we'll get to.
Okay.
But it was like everything I think you need in a remaster. It came out, a generation and a half-ish after, so kind of soon, but after the game came out. It added a little bit. It added the zombies that got back up and tried to kill you. It cleaned things up, and it looked so, pardon me, good. It was phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so great remasters. I think we all know here.
Crash, the best.
I don't like Crash that much.
I love
felt
it.
like he was always just chasing after Mario.
No.
But
No.
go ahead, Brittany.
It completely stands on its own.
What are we talking about?
Crash for the PS4,
The
the
Insane
remaster.
Trilogy.
Yes. It is such a beautiful game. I mean, and I understand that I have but a love for this game because I played it a lot as a child, but I am not seeing this thing through rose-colored glasses, I
Crash
swear.
bias.
What?
It's Crash bias.
No. It's I think anybody who plays this game would agree that it's so beautiful.
Crashist.
It's like they I like that one when you say. It's like they built this game from the bottom up, which I'm pretty sure they did.
It is a beautiful remaster.
It's a beautiful remaster, and the soundtrack is really cool, and I like what they did with the save points. It's a great game. It's a fantastic remaster. And you know what? It makes sense to remaster that game because it's an old game, but it's a very popular one. It's a classic. It has, a following. And I think that...
Crazy people.
Yeah, me.
Now, I've heard from several people that they messed up some of the jump mechanics a bit. I didn't play the original much, but you clearly have. What do you think about that?
I mean, I played the heck out of the original. Of course, I think I was like 8 or 9.
So at least 6 months ago.
10, maybe? I don't know. I wasn't... I don't think I was older than 10, though. That's the last time I had played it. And I don't recall...
That works for me, though?
Yeah, I don't recall the PlayStation 4
not.
not. Yeah. I mean, it felt the same to me. It was like riding a bike. I picked up the controller and I was a little nervous because I was like, oh man, what if I don't like it now, or blah blah blah, which is impossible.
What if you suck?
What if I'm terrible? But no, it was
good.
Like riding a bike, and it was fantastic. And I felt like they did a fantastic job with it.
And for what it's worth, as much as I'm not a huge fan of Crash, it's still a good game.
Oh yes.
It's just not Mario, but it's still good. No, it's
Mario's great too.
And I think that's another perfect example of a good remaster,
Yeah.
where you wait, several generations and you give it the full overhaul.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
absolutely.
Awesome.
Great.
Another game on here, not really my favorite game, but actually really good FPS, Modern Warfare Remastered.
Wow.
That was shiny. I know we come on here and I talk trash about Call of Duty because the thousands of versions later, it can kind of just die now, quietly, please.
Wow.
But Modern Warfare was a fantastic game just for the single-player campaign. I'll yell it up as one of the best single-player levels ever. You've never played Modern Warfare, have you?
No.
There's a level where there's 2 of you guys in ghillie suits. You know what a ghillie suit is, I'm
Yeah,
assuming?
I do.
And the whole level is you crawling around through the bushes and the grass, as tanks drive by right next to you.
I
and
remember you beating that game actually.
it's so good.
Huh.
One thing about Call of Duty games is the campaigns are usually really good. Modern Warfare was the one that got it. And the remaster of it was just it was really, really
Wow.
pretty. And it's the only reason anybody bought. Was it Infinite Warfare?
Yeah. And then they came out with it later separately on its
people
own,
were
but yeah.
But yeah, fantastic game. Other one on here, it's good for now because it's not out yet. We don't know.
Hey, you can't put that under good because you don't know.
Okay, so we're going to put it into an I don't know category. That's Final Fantasy VII, the upcoming remake.
Maybe.
Episodic.
I think they're lying.
Come out someday
I don't
before
believe
we
it.
frickin' die.
I really feel like they were like, okay, announce it so you can appease everybody and they can shut up about it, and then it's never going to come
And we're
out.
still not going to release Kingdom Hearts 3. Lol.
It's never going to happen.
Laughs in
no,
Japanese.
though I do believe that Kingdom Hearts is this year. Here's my thing. Calling it now, and I know we always have a show about this every year, so I'm just going to make it really brief. But here's my thing. Calling it now. That's going to be Sony's drop the mic this year at E3. They're going to announce the release date for Kingdom Hearts, and it's going to be like, wham, bam,
Coming
it's there.
next month.
Yeah, like, coming, yeah.
That would be
Or-
explosive. It's going to be like...
This August or something, you know?
I'm telling you, they're going to delay it.
No.
It's Squaresoft. They're going to delay it. They're going to be like,
I
it's
feel
coming
it
this
in my
holiday.
bones. And remember, I mean, just saying, I don't want to throw shade your way, but I'm going to throw shade your way. I know that you don't honor the bets that you make.
Oh, yeah.
Mario,
I forgot
who was
about
right
that.
about that? I feel it in my bones.
I'm still
Prophesizing
willing
right now.
to do it. I just forgot, and you forgot too. It's because Mario Odyssey wasn't that good. So
We're
we
going to do it
just
one of these
forgot about
days.
it.
We're going to seriously.
Mario Odyssey is really good.
I don't even remember what we bet. I mean, I
Something
remember
about
being
playing
right.
a game with some hot food and stuff. We'll play Gundam versus Zeta Gundam and make me have something hot. I don't care.
Yes,
I'm
okay.
willing to do it. I'll take my medicine. Whatever.
Ghost peppers.
I don't want to be sick. Like I'm not gonna ingest ghost peppers because you'll.
Nom, nom, nom.
No, I'm just gonna. We're doing it at your place, and I'm just gonna throw up everywhere. We won't be able to post that. So it's like, here's a video of Matt being sick for 45 minutes. Yay.
But yeah,
we will do something.
Just like I felt it for Mario, I feel it for Kingdom Hearts.
I think you're insane as always.
And Sony's gonna announce it, and they're gonna drop the mic.
We'll see. I'm calling
what
it.
it
They're
is.
gonna be like, please be a little bit more patient. We'll have it out early 2019.
This isn't Nintendo. This is Sony.
That's what I know, but I'm saying it's Square. The guys who took like 8 million years to make Final Fantasy 15 and still haven't released Kingdom Hearts 3 yet. And then 7, it's gonna be forever for this Kingdom Hearts game. I'm telling you.
I don't think
We'll
so.
see. We'll see.
It's already been forever. You can't take.
What's one more year?
Don't take longer than
What's
11
2 more
years.
years? What's
Or
3
however
more
long
console
it's been.
generations? You have
Oh
it
my God.
sometime by the time someone nukes the planet. It's okay. Okay.
But yeah.
Moving along, see.
But yes, sorry, because we totally made that about Kingdom Hearts.
So maybe
But
So
yeah.
Kingdom Hearts is in there.
That'd be cool. That'd be cool.
So Dragon Quest, any of them. We here in the States only got Dragon Quest as Dragon Warrior 1, 2, and 3, I believe, for the NES.
Mm-hmm.
And then we just didn't, for what I'm pretty sure, and I could be wrong here, but for 4, 5, and 6, because I know we got 7 on the PS1 and we got 8 on the PS2. We were missing a heck of a lot, and then 9 and 10. So any of these, albeit DS, but the fact that we got them, this is another great form of a remaster where it's a game that we just didn't get. And I have other things I didn't put on here, like a game for a console that maybe wasn't super popular, like the Vita. So Gravity Rush. Gravity Rush. Gravity Rush.
Malage.
Malage.
You were thinking about Princess Bride.
Gravity Rush is another good example of a game that maybe not everyone played because it was for the Vita, that they brought out for the PS4 when 2 came out. That's a great idea. It gives people a chance to play the game. Didn't really hamper much on 2 because 2 was a brilliant game. So that's cool. I like that. So any kind of Dragon Quest or Dragon Warrior, if you're over here, whatever. Glorious. Two more. You talk. Talk. I need more caffeine.
Okami.
There we go.
Yes. That was just recently remastered, actually, and it's been remastered.
Well, they re-released it.
No, because it came out. I was gonna say twice, but that's not accurate.
Didn't it come out for the Wii?
It did, but I
Yeah.
thought it came out at the same time as the PS.
No, it came out later.
Okay.
Because the Wii was totally out when the PS2
Okay, so it was
still
the-
like in its heyday. The Wii didn't look that bad, Brittany. Good lord.
Oh yeah, that's right. Wii was like what, 2005?
I think so.
It is the
Something like
year
that.
2005.
Transformers reference. I didn't make it for a change. But yes.
You're welcome.
So, but it was just re-released again in like shiny HD.
Yeah. Okay. So they released it for PS2, then it came out. No, 3 times. This is gonna be 4, right?
Is it?
Okay, because
That's
they
been too darn much.
no,
That's the
yeah,
case. And I'm
no,
taking
no,
it
no,
off
no,
my
no, no,
good
no,
list.
no,
It's too
because it's a
much.
fantastic game.
I don't care.
And I definitely understand the remasters. Okay, so I'm saving this for the is it necessary column.
It's not necessary then. If it's like the 12th.
No,
I don't care
no.
how good a game is.
What I'm saying is, like, what? I'll explain myself when we talk about the isn't necessary stuff. But okay, so it was PS2. Came out for the PS2. Came out for the Wii. Then it came out for the DS.
That was a different game though.
Was it?
That was a sequel. That was Okami Den. Yes.
I thought there were 2.
No, not to my knowledge.
I thought it was Okami and then Okami
I
Den.
don't believe so.
No, I think you're right.
Yes.
Okami Den.
You had that really cool like brush style.
That's right. Oh yeah, I remember that.
And then I thought the only time it was released after that was just recently.
Okay, yes. Okay, so you're right.
So that's okay. Then I'll take that. Cool. The other one on here
That one's
is
really good.
Wind Waker, the best Zelda in the history of Zeldas.
My favorite Zelda.
I mean, maybe not super necessary,
It's necessary.
but it's beautiful.
I'm sorry, you're gonna hate me for this, but they can remaster that game as many times as they want, and I will buy it every time.
Sounds like a Nintendo fan to me.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I love Wind Waker. It is amazing. The music is amazing. It makes me feel warm and fluffy inside. It's such a great game. I love it, and I would love a Wind Waker for the Switch. I would. Don't kill me. You're killing me with your eyes right now. He's like, he's stabbing me with his eyes right now.
The Switch is porting everything else from the console they had that no one bought. So,
But,
I mean,
okay.
that's a topic. We'll get to it. That's down here on the bottom.
Okay.
It's down here.
Okay.
We'll talk specifically about the Switch because that falls into the console that nobody had.
I would love to have
category.
that game on the go on the Switch. It'd be beautiful.
We will get to it then.
And it would be amazing.
I would rather them make Breath of the Wild 2, but we'll get to that.
Yeah.
You know, because
Yeah.
anything else really good that comes to mind? I know there's other really good ones out there, but just that pops into your head before we move on.
Beautiful Joe.
Did Beautiful Joe get remastered?
No, it needs to be remastered.
It needs to be. Well, that should have been up there. Yes, it should.
Like,
because it's a phenomenal game.
it wasn't remastered. Sorry, that was so confusing.
That's more Capcom good stuff, right there.
But yeah, I
They
wish
make a billion sequels to other things that we'll talk about. Why don't they just make it?
I wish they would remaster that because it's so fun and it's a really pretty game and it kind of has like a.
It's a beat 'em up.
Yeah.
With like awesome stuff. But cool. So Beautiful Joe.
It's fun. That
All right. So
should
moving
be.
on to the bad. Dun dun dun. Matt's favorite
Ba-bum.
part of the list.
You're such a negative
So
Nancy.
coming in here right away, one of my favorite two games, okay, by the great Metal Gear man himself, Mr. Kojima. I always think it's funny because I like everything Kojima's done a whole lot except for Metal Gear. And Metal Gear's fine. I just don't like stealth games very much. But anyways, so Zone of the Enders, the HD remaster of these games were terrible.
I've never actually played a Zoe game. I've seen a lot of gameplay for it.
You get motion sick. That's why.
Yeah, because I get
All the spinnerooskies.
massive. I've seen a lot of gameplay for it, but I haven't personally played it. So what kind of game is it?
It's a robot game.
Of course.
All you need. No,
Yeah.
The first one
I
good,
knew
but
that,
the second one specifically, the second one because the cell shading was pretty. It felt like you were playing a super robot anime where you're this robot, or you're a guy in the robot, and Jehuti, this awesome, like really cool, original looking design. All that game had some really really awesome mecha designs, and you go around fighting like other robots that are like you in boss fights and other like clouds of enemies. It's just a beautiful game, amazing combat, super hard, tons of fun though.
So why do you think it was bad? The remaster was bad.
was really bad because it played terribly, specifically on the 360. They fixed the PS3 version, but the game had notoriously awful frame rate issues that made the game very difficult to play.
See, but I swear I remember you playing this for the PS3.
And having a hard time with it.
Really? Because
Yeah.
I don't recall.
The PS version, like I said, was always better. But what killed this and what specifically pisses it off for me is it didn't sell well because it was a piece of crap when it came out. So Connor's like, oh, clearly you don't want a Zone of the Enders 3. Never mind. And we were like, but it's the Star Fox thing. It's like, we're stop making bad Star Fox games and we'll buy it. But they'll make a bad Star Fox game and be like, see, you don't like Star Fox. No, we don't like bad Star Fox. We like good Star Fox. Just because you throw Fox into the game and make a crappy game that forces you to use motion controls does not mean we're going to like it. It's like, you're going to remaster Zone of the Enders 2 and have it go really, like, be really jinky and have major issues. No one's going to buy it. We'll buy 3 if 3's good. So this has a possibility to shift to the good because they are re-releasing Zone of the Enders 2 again for PS4. With all the problems fixed, apparently, higher resolution and VR support. OMG.
Ooh, that's really cool.
So could
really
be
cool.
great, but specifically it's high on my list because it's just heartbreaking because there should have been a Zoe 3 and it feels like there was supposed to be a Zoe 3 and because they released a crappy HD remaster, we didn't get one. So Konami could just burn for that. Just go make another Pouchy slot machine because that's all they freaking do anymore. Sorry. There's no bitterness there, kids. None whatsoever. Unbiased show. So next one on there, Brittany. What do we have?
I don't necessarily agree with this one, okay?
Really?
Yeah, Silent Hill. He has Silent Hill on the list.
Yeah, because once again, Silent Hill, amazing series of games. At least 1, 2, and 3. Even The Room, being as weird as it was still a solid title. But 1, 2, and 3 were glorious games. The remaster was atrocious. You know how Silent Hill had the fog, this awesome atmospheric great fog? Gone.
Okay, again though, one could argue, I'm not saying it's right, I'm just saying one could argue the fog was there because the system couldn't, correct me if I'm wrong, but the system couldn't handle.
It was a genius interpretation of the system's limitations.
Okay, so one could argue that the remaster is how they originally intended.
They intended to make a bad game then, if that is the truth.
No, I mean,
with no
but it works out and it's really
because
cool.
You can see everything.
Would I rather have the fog? Yes, it adds to the creepiness, the spookiness of Silent Hill. I think it's awesome, and you can't see 10 feet in front of you. Like, that's scary.
Well, in my opinion, it's the case of a remaster gone wrong, where you have a great game, and a remaster is supposed to take the game and improve the visuals maybe a little bit, or do something and make it a better experience. But in this case, it's one of the experience being changed and taken away. Why does that exist?
I mean, I guess if the remaster is your first version of the game, then you might be a little bit shocked when, I guess when you play.
Or if it's not the first version. If you've played the first one, you play the remaster and go, oh my God, what have you done? Kind of thing. It goes into our next one on here, which isn't awful per se, but it definitely had its issues. The Ezio collection, the Assassin's Creed Ezio collection. Yeah, I know I spelled it wrong. Whatever.
Etizio.
Etizio. It's not my fault. It's what word changed it into. Okay, I typed this up in a hurry.
Ezio.
It wasn't nearly as bad, but it definitely had issues where it felt like they, in the reskinning of stuff and remastering everything, a lot of shortcuts were taken specifically for the not prominent characters. So there are other characters in the background that just look really bad. Like the game will randomly generate crowd people.
To be fair, I love to play devil's advocate. I'm sorry. It's a character in the background. It's not.
It doesn't matter. Like if they're standing out with like Muppet eyes in the background. I mean.
But if it's a good game, I don't care what it looks like.
But it's a good game you can play on the 360. This isn't a 20-year-old game.
What if you don't have a 360?
Your Xbox One could play it anyways.
Okay.
I mean, this is a bad remaster, or even an unnecessary one, where it's a game that is a generation old, is available freaking everywhere for dirt cheap.
I'm pretty sure that's been free a few times through.
Yes. It's like you did not need this. We did not need this, and it was poorly done in the first place.
But I definitely understand if maybe some people don't have their PlayStation 3 anymore. They got rid of the PlayStation 3 and their games whenever they got a PlayStation 4 or an Xbox One, whatever. And so they want to have those games together on their newer system. I get that. When it's a popular franchise, it's understandable.
It wasn't
That's what I
good
think.
in the case of Assassin's Creed. In the very least, if it wasn't bad, it was lazy.
And I know some people personally that it drives them crazy to have a series on separate systems.
Yeah.
So I think for those people as well.
I know Megan too.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I also know people that drive Volkswagens. I mean, this world isn't full of all the sharpest knives in the drawer there. Just kidding. I'm sorry. Wow. TDI clean diesel. Anyway.
Wow. Okay, Volkswagen, a Beetle was my first car.
And it was always
I just want to talk about how
always broken.
Volkswagen will forever hold a soft spot in my heart. And one day I will probably own another one.
No, you will not.
Yes,
really?
Because it was my first car. And I
man.
just love them.
I'm not a huge environmental
I loved
person,
it.
And this is not politic overcast.
Oh, yeah, no.
But
yeah.
Come on.
As long as it's clean.
You should not buy Volkswagen stuff ever.
It was shady.
Very shady.
It was shady.
Okay, we're moving along. We've already gotten too far into it.
I love my bug. My bug is precious. Was precious.
My bug is dead now, thank God.
No, sad.
Okay. Okay, so let's just get right into this one, because I know this one's going to be tough. Bad remasters. Final Fantasy X.
Stop speaking.
Stop
speaking right now.
I have valid reasons. Not saying Final Fantasy X isn't a masterpiece, because it is. I've played through it many times. Okay?
I could be biased.
You are. You are biased.
I
Final
admit
Fantasy
it.
X was a bad remaster.
I don't think so.
Every main character has a dough face.
Oh my God.
Like, all the detail and expression is gone because everyone looked like this.
I don't think it's that bad.
It wasn't. God, there you go again.
I'm sorry.
That's fine, but
it's not.
It was a lazy remaster. And they took out the detail and added, it's like Titus Una ate many donuts. In between.
I eat many donuts. I can relate.
Yes, but
okay.
You want to have a good remaster
and that's okay.
of the game. You don't want to have. We added just a lot of fluff to the face, so everyone's kind of they weren't expressive. It was terrible. It was terrible. And then my soundtrack. They burned my soundtrack
Okay.
with an arranged soundtrack. And yes, thankfully you can listen to the original one, but so many of the arranged songs, I don't know what schmuck did this. I don't think it was Nubo who did it. And if it was, I'm sorry, you've lost your mind. They're just terrible. They ruined a lot of the best songs in 10 with this arranged
I think
soundtrack.
that's one of the reasons why 10 is my favorite Final Fantasy, because I feel like the music is so moving and it works so well with the story. And, you know, when they got to the, oh my God, of course, Road to Xanarkand, and when you get there, when you see that scene, when you're finally there, I mean, you see it in the beginning,
It kicks
but when
you
you
right in the
when you get
feels.
there, yes, and you're just like, oh my God, this is it, you know,
that's one
and
of the
it
few
just
ones
works so
they
well.
didn't screw up because it was impossible to screw up because it's just a freaking piano.
Yeah.
But a lot of other songs they just murdered, absolutely murdered, and it just
a great
guts you. You
soundtrack.
realize how much the soundtrack adds, and there hasn't like Final Fantasy 15 had some really beautiful songs, but overall it still was nothing compared to the old ones. Sorry, Kingdom Hearts lady, you're not as good as Nubo. You never will be. It's the way it goes. Like you had some beautiful songs, but overall the whole piece, most of the good music in Final Fantasy 15 was from older Final Fantasy games in the radio of your car.
Yeah.
And that really says something about the music right there. It's like, what do you remember the most about 15? Listening to the music from Final Fantasy 8.
I think it was really cool for them to have that option.
Oh, yes, of course.
It was really awesome. And then you could, you know, your favorites, and you could relate them to new characters and a new experience. And I think that's really cool.
Just jamming down the road. But yeah, 10 was the last great, like, phenomenal Final Fantasy soundtrack. And they just, like,
Such a good
went
soundtrack.
on it in the remaster.
Such a good soundtrack.
So I don't care what you think. I think it was terrible.
I don't care what you
For
think.
those reasons. Like, can we at least agree that the music arrangement
Yes,
was not
but if
good?
you listen to the original soundtrack
Okay. What about the dough
and then
face
you play the
thing?
game, it's fine.
The dough face thing was real.
What dough
I'll
face?
find a picture of the dough face thing and put it up right here. Okay, I'm gonna put this big because that's how big Yuna's face was in the new game.
No, it was not.
They look like Marlboros. All
But
of
I
them,
think
these
it was
big,
really cool.
fat things.
Because I mean, I have it on the PS2, but here's the deal: I don't want to whip out my PS2
I'm aware.
and hook it up again.
But it's so bad.
You know, if I have to, I will. But it was really nice to have that. It's a fantastic Final Fantasy.
It appeals to the
It
lazy
deserved.
gamer. And it makes
Wow.
sense because all the characters were heavier. And I have no problem with big people. I'm not a small person. It's just hilarious that all the
What
characters
the
gained
heck?
weight. I thought it was really funny.
Not. It is.
I will show you. Passionate, see?
Yes.
Okay.
I can't help it.
Any
you know?
other bad remasters? I actually had a hard time finding ones that were actually, like, honest to God, terrible. Thankfully. And I was trying. You know I was trying. And I couldn't really find any that were, like, really, really bad. Which is good. You know, good for video games. You know, awesome. I forgot one good one. Potentially good one. We don't know yet. Shadow of the Colossus.
I bet that's going to be good.
Well, the new one, it's a complete rebuild.
That's another
Now,
one. I feel it in my bones.
Down on the unnecessary list, I have the one for PS3. Because it is one of the best games ever made. I don't think we really needed it for PS3 because it didn't do much to the game, especially when you have this glorious one coming out for PS4. If it's good, we don't know yet. Like the reviews are like, it's a masterpiece, but if there's like, maybe there's problems, maybe there's bugs.
I think at the
Maybe
time,
there's DLC for some crap. Who knows?
maybe. I think at the time when Shadow of the Colossus came out for PS3, it was pretty and people were happy with it.
Yeah.
I don't think it was.
Shadow of the Colossus was pretty on the PS2. They didn't do much to it. Shadow of the Colossus is one of the prettiest games on that console.
I thought it was one of those games, though. I'm surprised that they have chosen to remaster that game twice.
It's one of the best games ever made.
Because even though it's a fantastic game, I feel like it's still one of those games that has a cult following. It's not necessarily like the biggest name ever
It
or the
stands
biggest
out,
game.
though, also, where there aren't many games where you go on this epic adventure, you know, to save your love, and you have to fight giant monsters, and you do it by
kill
climbing
these, like,
their backs and stabbing them
innocent
in the eyes.
Little Colossus?
I just ignore them.
Colossus? Colossi?
Colossi, I believe. Colossus.
Colossus is
Cool. We're good. But moving on to the unnecessary. This is gonna piss some people off. Once again, to clarify, none of these games are bad. In fact, most of these games are so good they've been
Fantastic
released
games.
too many times. Okay, starting off with Resident Evil 4. Wait. Best Resident Evil ever. Okay, easily.
Is it your favorite?
Yes, by far.
Even above 7? Because 7's pretty damn
I
good.
hate you. I hate 7. I hate
It's
7
so good,
much.
though. So good. I mean,
Resident Evil 4 re-engineered the control scheme changed the camera so they weren't set camera angles anymore, so you didn't feel as claustrophobic and with horrible tanky controls. So the game was just scary because it was just scary.
So how many times has Resident Evil 4 been remastered?
Resident Evil 4 was originally on the GameCube, okay? And then they released it with PS2 for the Wii. Because that's 2 remastered, okay?
Okay.
There was not 1, but 2 mobile versions. There was a phone version and an iPad
Yeah,
version.
but I feel like those shouldn't count. Like Okamiden doesn't count.
Well, no, because these were the game. These weren't...
It was the real game?
Or like a pared down version. It wasn't a sequel. It was supposed to be the game.
But it was like the full game.
I don't know. I never played the dang thing. I didn't need to. I just know it existed. I don't even know if it came out in this country, actually, for that matter. PS3 360 and
Wait a
finally...
minute. Was there... I don't remember it being released for PS3 and 360. Was there a physical release for that?
I don't know.
No, I don't think so.
But it was released.
Was it?
Yes.
Are you sure?
It was an HD version, unless Wikipedia is lying.
I believe you.
I wanted to look up how many versions of Resident Evil 4 are there. Maybe I'm wrong. Either way, still too damn many.
I don't think there was a physical release for that.
I don't believe so. And then the Ultimate Edition for PS4, which we got the other day, and that's actually what gave me the idea for the show. Was like, really? They released this again?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. It's just an example of a game that has weight. And not saying it's not a bad game, but at this point, Capcom could have made another game.
Okay, but here's the deal.
What's the deal? Tell me the deal.
I'll tell you the deal. I think it's great. I see nothing wrong with remasters because it's a completely different generation. You were saying
really?
So yourself.
PS3 was a different generation?
No. Yeah, I mean, well, it was.
Really?
It was last generation.
So we don't...
But what I'm saying is, what if people didn't have these systems? What if somebody came into gaming within the PS4 era or the Xbox One era, and they want access to these great games? I understand. You can always buy an older system. You can always get the older game, but they're not always easily accessible.
Resident Evil 4 is actually really cheap.
But they may not know that, and then maybe if they love that game, they'll come back and they'll want to own the original versions, which is fantastic. I think you should own the original versions. Like Final Fantasy X, I own the original version. I also own the remaster. You should...
Let me cut you off because we will get to that argument that we've already got to. I'm going to knock this one out of the way because it's all the same argument then. Okay. Further down, and I have a post down for it, but any game that was specifically the last gen that's less than a full generation old should not need a remaster. I'm looking at you, Skyrim. I'm looking at you, The Last of Us. I'm talking about you, Uncharted. All these phenomenal games, like Game of the Year games, I do not need again.
I do understand where you're coming from. I do get it. But again, and also... Uncharted is a fantastic example where some people are getting rid of their PlayStation 3s or they want to own, I have Uncharted 4 for the PlayStation 4. It really bothers me that I have them on, PlayStation 3.
The console they were originally on. See, my mindset is I want to have the original version of the game.
Me too. I just like to play devil's advocate, like I told you.
I'll take your
And then
argument,
also,
and
I understand from that perspective, like, you're a hardcore gamer. I am pretty much a hardcore gamer. We collect games. We have, a collection. We like the boxes. We like the manuals, whatever. We're gamers and we're collectors. So, of course, we're going to want to own the originals. And then we probably bought the originals, which is why we own them as well. But I can understand from a casual perspective.
Filthy casual.
Why, or if somebody's a little OCD, maybe I don't want to own them on, I want to remaster and have them all on PS4. I can understand that. Or my, PS3 or my Xbox is unplugged. So I don't want to plug it back in.
I don't want to bend over and plug it back in.
I'm just saying.
Going back to that lazy gamer. I'm already on
excuse.
the couch. I've got a soda and a candy bar. I can't be bothered to walk 4 feet.
It's a valid excuse.
Bend over.
And because what if you have to unplug everything and then play? Like, I get it. And then you just, I get it.
I'm just giving you a hard time. I understand the argument, and the argument makes sense. There will always be the counter argument for the time spent with these games, as minimal as it may be, could be spent making new games.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of these remasters, I don't care what you say, are just cash grabs, like Devil May Cry, the HD remaster of the HD remaster. We don't need that again.
But again,
I'd like a new Devil May Cry. There hasn't been a new Devil May Cry since DMC.
That would be fantastic. I'm okay with a Devil May Cry remaster because I played the heck out of Devil May Cry.
Wouldn't you rather have a new Devil May Cry, though?
But why can't you? What's wrong with having both?
Where's the new Devil May Cry? and I'll tell you it's okay to have both.
Well,
There
I'm
isn't
just
one,
saying.
though.
And then what if they're like, okay, well, this is, this Devil May Cry is a few generations old. So for them, at
But
that point,
there was a PS3 HD remaster, and it sucked. So they're making it again.
So
and they promise it won't suck this
if they
time.
build it from the from scratch and they make it
They're
really
not,
beautiful
though.
and it works, or they fix whatever was wrong, whatever you thought was wrong with it, I can see that. And if it does really well, and then that might kick interest into another Devil May Cry, which would be awesome. I would love another
like
Devil
Zone of
May
the
Cry.
Enders, and they'll be like, oh, see, no one bought this game for the 12th time, so we won't make another Devil May Cry. Just make another Devil May Cry. There's a huge demand for it. Just
I
do
get
it.
what you're saying, but I don't see anything wrong with remasters. And then also, there are the games that we have on our list that are good remasters. Like Crash is more than a few generations old.
Yes.
Gosh, how old is that game? 20?
It's a PS1 game.
It's like 20 years old.
Yeah.
Or it might even be more than that. Like, I don't know. When did I play it?
I mean, PS1 was mid-90s, so
Dude, that's
it's
like...
around 20-ish years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I don't want specifics. I want the whole thing.
Oh, yeah, because PlayStation just celebrated 20 years.
Yes.
Whenever we were in Boston. Remember for PAX last year?
That's right.
They had just celebrated 20 years.
So
or
it's
they
around 20
handing
years
out
old.
20
Got
year
it.
stuff.
But that's great for a game that's that
Yes.
old. I'll take
or,
that.
And some...
For a game that's like a year old, I don't need a remaster of a game that's been out for less than 2 years.
And, yeah, I agree with that. But also going back, what if people didn't know, 20-year-olds or 20-somethings right now didn't know that game existed? You know what I mean?
You want to tell me that you were between ages of 15 and 40 and had a PS2 and didn't know what Devil May freaking Cry was?
I'm not talking about Devil May Cry. I'm talking about some of the older. I'm talking about some of the older ones, or people that are just getting into gaming, or have only been into gaming for a few years. Some of these old gems that they may have never known about. It's remastered
I'll
for
give
their.
you that. Do we really need 3 remasters of it though? No, we don't.
I mean, I get
Going
what
into
you're,
the
I get
next
what you're
one,
saying,
this
but
ne-
at least it came with all the DLC.
Devil May Cry had DLC.
No, I'm sorry. I was thinking Last of Us. I was on a completely different conversation.
That's fine. I just don't find it necessary. I get the arguments. I really do. It just when you get to a game like Street Fighter, though. You knew it was going to be on here. You knew it was going to be on here. Come on.
And I love Street Fighter 2.
A game that has billions of versions.
Yeah.
Okay. And like you have Street Fighter 5 that has its second version is coming out now. You had Street Fighter 4 had at least 2 different versions of it. You had Street Fighter 4 Super and Street Fighter Arcade, right? Wasn't that right? Wasn't there 2 versions of Street Fighter 4?
I'm
3?
not sure. The only Street Fighter I ever play is Street Fighter 2.
Like, there's a point where Capcom has been knocking it out of the park with good stuff. Like, I forgot to even mention it in the news section. We moved on so fast, we didn't even touch the news. Monster Hunter World came out. It sold like 5 million copies in 3 days.
Good for you.
Like, that's
Monster
the best
Hunter.
ever for Monster Hunter in
That's
those 3
awesome.
days. That's fantastic. It's doing great. They had Resident Evil 7, which was an awful game that sold well for some reason. It was good. It bothered me. Okay.
Fantastic game.
Like, they make great stuff, but then they do this crap where it's like, hey, look, guys, we're the only company that will milk our cash cows harder than Nintendo. Like, guess what? It's Street Fighter
Excuse
2 again. We know you just bought it for the Switch, but here it is again, but with more concept art.
Again for what?
The
On what?
35th anniversary collection is a really cool collection. It's really awesome.
Yeah, but it's not. It's gonna have multiple Street Fighters on it. It's not.
And I don't care.
I know, but you're saying it like it's only Street Fighter 2.
Because I have several of the games. I have several of the collections because they've done it a million times. It's great.
I think it's cool to have Street Fighter 2 on the Switch though.
It's fine, but
It's
now you have it.
nice.
Now you can have it again, and again
Yeah.
in 5 years or 2 years.
I don't
realistically.
deny that I think Street Fighter 2 is a
At
bit
no point am I saying
excessive.
any of these games aren't fantastic. Third Strike is
Yeah.
the best, but at no point am I saying they're great. Like, please understand, I'm saying they're fantastic. But like, if this 30th anniversary came out and there wasn't a billion other collections already for the PS2 and for the Xbox and everything else, great. But there is. There is. There freaking is. Okay. It's ridiculous. Not saying it's bad, but is it really necessary? That's just the question I'm trying to bring up. Like, none of this matters because they do it anyways. But it's just like, is this necessary? Should they maybe be doing something else? Like, Monster Hunter exists. I don't know. Maybe I'm just griping to gripe. That's fine. So the last thing I have on here, and then we will get into the big thing, and this is why I wanted to bring this up. I have a specific section called the Switch Port Paradox.
Okay.
And that is the Switch is releasing all of the ports. All of them. And I mean, we're talking, what are we talking? We've got Dark Souls. We've got Donkey Kong. We've got Hyrule Warriors.
I don't see anything wrong with that.
Now,
Donkey Kong is a
hold on.
fantastic game.
Hold on. I was going to say it makes. Oh yeah, Bayonetta. I mean, there's so many billions.
Yes.
But it makes sense to a very big degree because no one bought the Wii U. So it's the same thing as the Vita. You thought I was going to condemn them. Ha!
I did.
Psych! It's at the same time, I am a bit concerned because it seems like fully half of their release schedule for this year is a bunch of freaking ports.
But you know what? They're coming out with games, and they're making those games. They're not only casual games. Like, they have a nice selection. Fans have been asking Nintendo since the Wii came out. Okay, the Wii is great, but too casual.
Give me some hardcore
The
games.
Wii U is great, but too casual. You know, we want some hardcore stuff. They're doing it, and there some of these. Yes, some of these games may be a little bit old, like Wolfenstein.
I'm not saying you're wrong.
Or Payday.
But, okay, I was going to say, it's like, tell me what hardcore games Nintendo's releasing. But good point. They have Doom and they have stuff like that.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yes, and those games have not been accessible on a Nintendo console before. And then much less on a handheld, which is fantastic.
It is really, really
I'm
cool.
excited to play, Bayonetta in handheld mode.
Bayonetta's going to be great.
That's going to be
man.
fantastic.
Oh my God.
Donkey Kong, yes, I know it came out for the 3DS, or there is a Donkey Kong for the 3DS, but still,
it's a port of the Wii U version.
it'll be
the
nice.
tropical
Yeah,
fruits.
so it'll be nice to have that
And people
to
that
go.
own it because no one owned a Wii U. I swear to like
Savage.
you and me and like 20 other people owned a Wii U, and that was it. But so
I bought it
I'll
for
give
Wind
it a
Waker.
pass because that falls into my no one owned the thing. These great games never got played except for like the hardcore Nintendo fan people.
And I'm sorry, Disgaea? That's a hardcore game.
Yeah. Sorry.
Disgaea
Disgaea
is
4,
hard.
Disgaea 5. Yes, thank you.
I
Okay,
think it's
I'll take
hard.
that. I'll take that. Fine. But so good on Nintendo for re-releasing games. I would like them to do some more new games also, which there aren't very many left coming out. Hi, what?
Sorry. I also like the games that they're choosing because they're really great games, and they're games that you may not necessarily. I mean, Dark Souls, first of all, mind blown.
You're talking about The World Ends With You, right?
World Ends With You.
Yep.
Yes.
That's pretty cool.
A lot of people don't even know what that game is. I mean,
That
how
guy
many
looks like
times
Sora.
I can. Geez, the amount of times I've come across that game, only been a handful.
It's another cult following by
Yes.
far.
And it's very, it's.
Although I'm curious how they're going to do the dual screen mode on a Switch
I don't know.
because it was a DS game.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But good for Nintendo.
But
It's
yeah,
good.
But what I was gonna say, just to blah blah blah, they're picking good titles.
Yes.
Titles that are not that haven't
Where's my
been.
Smash Nintendo.
Yeah, we need that. But
You know it's coming.
they're not hammering the same titles. So Nintendo is trying. Thank you, Nintendo.
I'm calling this now. I'll make my prediction. Smash launches with online. When Nintendo's online servers actually go live in September, they've said now, that's when Smash goes live.
You think so?
Yep. Because if there's any game Nintendo has that you will pay to play online, it's Smash.
I would say maybe they'll announce a Smash at E3. But
That's what I mean. They'll announce at E3. Their online's supposed to go live in September.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, can you think of any other Nintendo
That
game
would
you
be
would
cool.
happily pay to play
So
online?
would you be happy with a remaster, or
Of
do you want
Smash?
another Smash?
I'd love to have another Smash. We won't get one. It'll be a Wii U port with all the DLC characters and maybe some new stuff. No way we get a new Smash.
I mean, I would be happy with a remastered Smash with newer characters.
That'd be nice.
Like obviously the same roster, but like with
Yeah.
a couple of additional.
Because I mean, I haven't played Smash since Ryu came out, so I never played with Bayonetta or Cloud at all, just because I've been clean of Smash for a very long time now. But so all right. So final thought, Jerry Springer style here, with a question: would you take the good and the bad, if you could, do away with all remasters and remakes entirely?
You basically already have my answer because I've been preaching it.
Yep.
No, I do not think that they should do away with remasters. I think remasters are a good thing when you're trying to touch other generations. You're trying to reach different generations of people. Like we were talking about Crash. It's 20 years old or however old it is. Medieval is another game that's really old that I played as a child, which is a fantastic game. Other people should experience that. Maybe they didn't know Medieval existed. You know what I mean? So I think remasters are a good thing when you're trying to reach another audience.
And
Scene.
Okay. Okay, now here's my take on it, so buckle up. Ideally, I would say yes, get rid of them all. in a perfect world, that would mean, hang on, that would mean there would be more brand new content. I'm also of the belief that we should outlaw sequels.
What?
To a degree. A game, you have a really great franchise. You can make 3 of them. You are then legally required to stop making them after that, and you have to make something else. So that means no more Assassin's Creed, no more Call of Duties, no more Maddens, no more anything.
Yeah, but Assassin's Creed Origins is actually a good Assassin's Creed.
That's fine. Make another good game then. At that point, like, make something else. It doesn't have to be Assassin's Creed, but whatever. That's in a perfect world. It's never going to happen. I understand that. The reality of remasters, like you said, they do exist for people that didn't have the old console, that can't afford some of the old games, and they are a nice new way to introduce old classic games into a new world. The also reality is a lot of these games are there to soak up people's money and development time, so you can re-release an easy game that you already made, and people will buy that, and you don't have to make a new game. So it's a little bit of both. That's the reality of it.
I think that you're thinking of it too negatively, though.
Oh, I'm doing it, but there are really good ones, and the purpose, like you stated, is amazing.
Yeah.
But there are ones that are specifically there just for you to buy a billion times
And
over.
then also, what if they're working on the best game that they can possibly be making? Hopefully that's the case with Kingdom Hearts 3. And then so they're going to go ahead and re-release Kingdom Hearts for those of you who may be new to the franchise or
because Kingdom Hearts came out a decade ago.
That too. I forget how old that game is. Yeah. So
I'll give you
a
that.
remaster is justified.
Granted, of course. I think there's both sides to the coin, though, where it is a fantastic thing for stuff like Shadow of the Colossus and for legitimate remasters for games that you can't play.
And also, I think it's kind of going back to Kingdom Hearts. It's kind of a remaster is going to hold you over, hopefully, while they're working on 3. You know what I mean? Or a sequel. The remaster.
I'd rather them just make 3 before I die.
Yeah.
But do you get where I'm coming from? I'm trying to make it not negative in that there is valid reason for it, and some of them are fantastic. And then there is the bad side where they just re-release, like, we don't need a million Jak and Daxter collections out there. We don't need, especially when they run horribly. I'm just saying, like, you laugh.
No.
But it's true. But for every one of those bad ones, there are really good ones out there. Like the Kingdom Hearts remixes. Those were great. I'd like to have 3 once again before I turn 40. But
so funny. Okay, this makes me think there was this little meme that the Game Over Instagram actually posted.
Good job, Ben.
Yeah, it was so fun. I was rolling. I was dying of laughter. And it was basically a picture of a child holding a controller, and it said me playing Kingdom Hearts. And then there was the exact same picture, and it was an old man holding the controller in the same position, and it was me playing Kingdom Hearts 3.
I saw that one. That was really fun.
And I just thought that was so
funny. And a little bit too close to the truth.
I know.
But I think that about wraps it up. So overall, I mean, they're going to keep making them regardless. And overall, it's a good thing. It is a good thing. I'm just being a jerk. That's my job, to be a jerk. I signed a contract. Blame David. But yeah, that about wraps it up for us. If you have any questions, comments, favorite remasters you wish to discuss, Triscuss, food, dinner. Dinner's a good idea. Please let us know. Comment on the YouTube channel. Send us an email at podcast@gameovervideogames.com.
Sorry, this is going back. This is so random. I would love to see a Fatal Frame remaster. Ooh, yeah, Fatal Frames. I would love for this to be remastered. We could literally
talk for years about
I know.
like to have remade, though.
Because I'll never get another Fatal Frame.
I'd like to have a complete Streets of Rage trilogy. By the way, Streets of Rage
want a
3,
physical.
OMG.
Sorry, we're talking about 2 different things. I know that there was a Fatal Frame for the Wii U, and I own it, but I had to download it. I like owning it.
So we can get a physical copy here.
I want it physically, and then I want a remaster for 1 and 2. Okay. That was it.
Cool. So back to the whole wrapping up of the show thing.
Yes, sorry.
Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for listening, possibly both. Everyone have a glorious evening. I am Matt.
Brittany.
I don't want to just point at you like, you, name, Angawa. We will catch you next time on Game Overcast.
Bye.
Big Daddy.